As you may see, we are a tribe who take the jobs of postmans. I can't get over that. But there is more about it. He turned to Link and Chris. Every Rito has to climb to the top of the island and get their wings from Valu, so they can fly and reach their goals. And what is the problem then? Link asked. Something has been happening to Valu. He is acting rather strangely and violently. Not long ago, creatures came to the island weeks ago in the night. Since that night, Valu has been acting with great anger. But, Chris looked around, every Rito has his wings, right? The chieftain nodded. Yes, everyone except for one. Who? Link asked. My son Komali. He is now at the age of receiving his wings, but since this situation has been around, he refuses to climb the mountain, and I'm afraid he is giving up the ritual. Just by coincidence, Komali came running with his orb in his arms to his room. That was Komali? Link asked. Yes, he is my son, but why was he shaking? The chieftain asked to himself. Link, I have another favor to ask you. Can you give something to Komali so he can try to climb the mountain? Link nodded. Thank you. You too? Again, 2. Written as number 2. He's gone back to this. I suppose he never abandoned it because, well, he did eventually, but it's, you know, because this is old school Aura channeler. Chris, where the fuck is it? I just wanna highlight that. There it is. You too. Glorious. Thank you. You two should look around first. Quill, Link's postman, gives Link a delivery bag, and he keeps it. All right. Sure. Okay. Link and Chris looked around to know the place. They found a desk with a Rito looking to a pile of letters. He asked if Link could organize them to their destinations by throwing them to their blocks with their marks. He had a time limit to do it just for fun. Okay. What? So I don't know who's saying this bit. It says, okay, whatever. I'll just say it's the Rito. This one to Outset, this one for Windfall, and this one for He threw the letter quickly to his block. What is it? Chris asked. That letter had the head of that weird man in the cell of Oh no, shit! It's Link. All right. This one to Outset, this one for Windfall, and this one for I'm not going to do that again. He threw the letter quickly to his block. What is it? Chris asked. That letter had the head of that weird man in the cell of Windfall. He shuddered before continuing. He did it right and got a piece of heart. Great. Why are you mentioning this? This isn't remotely important. He's just kind of describing what happens in the game, I imagine. All right. The piece of heart disappeared in thin air. Just then, Chris heard a familiar voice coming from near there, and he found Lucario with crossed arms and leaned to a wall. Lucario! He smiled at Lucario, and he smiled back to him. Where have you been? I was with a girl who played a very relaxing melody with her harp. He remembered the sound by closing his eyes. It was beautiful. I've never heard a melody like that in my entire life before. You're in love with her, right? Okay, that's fairly presumptive. I mean, maybe he just liked the song. Shit, dude. You can appreciate someone's music without falling in love with them. I mean, you know, I like, Jimmy Page's music, but he, like, raped 14-year-olds. I don't think I'd love him. He sounds like a dickhead. He sounds like a right meanie. He sounds like a right nasty fella. You're in love with her, right? Okay, sure. Chris said in a serious tone, and his eyes narrowed, and he smiled rather curiously at Lucario. Lucario blushed a little. What? No! What makes you think that? Chris placed his right ear near Lucario's chest, right close to his spike, and he heard a rather fast beat in his heart. Your heart says the contrary. Maybe he was just running. What the fuck do you know? I'm telling the truth, he said, annoyed. Just then, the same young Rito girl from before came to the right of the two. Chris, again, number 2. Chris's ear was still in Lucario's chest, and both looked, this probably looks a bit weird, and both looked at the Rito girl. Oh, it's you! I didn't introduce myself before. I'm Medley. Nice to meet you. She smiled at him, and oddly, Chris felt Lucario's heart beating faster than before. Lucario blushed more. I'm Lucario. It's a pleasure to meet you too. Lucario? That is a good name for you. Lucario's heart was beating faster now. I'm gonna be near the third exit of the cave! Talk to me if you want. Lucario's heart was now beating madly faster. Medley walked away. She completely ignored me, Chris said. He stopped hearing Lucario's heart, he's dead I guess, and looked at him. Lucario, admit it, you're in love with her. This is so fucking stupid. This is so fucking stupid. Even by Aura Channeler Chris's standards, this is stupid. Lucario, admit it, you're in love with her. Lucario's head was now all red, except for his black marking. For the last time, I'm not in love with her! The voice rang inside the cave. Only Link heard the conversation while he was still throwing the letter to their blocks, breaking his record little by little. Fine, you're not in love with her, Chris said sarcastically, walking away from Lucario. He shook his head and the red colour was now blue again, and he followed Chris to where Link was. Hey guys, check it out! I broke my record several times, and see my wallet now! Link's wallet was now completely full of rupees. It's a shame I don't have a bigger wallet now. You will have a bigger one later, Chris thought to himself. Anyway, I heard from you two that Lucario is in love with someone, am I right? Number 2. He narrowed his eyes and smiled rather curiously to Lucario, as Chris did. Lucario just closed his eyes and turned his head away quickly. No, you didn't heard anything, Chris said sarcastically. Ellipsis. This was Link's response. Oh, by the way, a Rito girl with the name of Medley came not too long ago and asked me to go to the third exit of this cave. We should go with her now. Lucario turned his head to Link. Fine, he said, walking away a little faster. We should go with her now. What's the big hurry, Lucario? Link asked, confused, but his words were sent to deaf ears. Blue deaf ears. Okay, yeah, sure. Ugh, I'll tell you now, Chris whispered to Lucario's toon ear. Link then dropped in the floor, laughing madly. Oh my god, that is just too fun. That is just too funny. Ha 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 ha. He held his stomach in pain for the laugh. After laughing madly in the floor and some Rito gave weird looks at Link, Chris and Link proceeded to where Medley was. Dragon Roost Island. Third exit to Dragon Roost Cavern. Oh, it's you again! Those clothes are from the ancient hero, right? Medley asked, but she shook her head. You're Link, right? I've heard of you by the chieftain of our tribe a while ago. My name is Medley. I'm Valu's attendant, and is my job to help Valu in times of need. But actually, I'm not her attendant. I'm studying to become one. I hope you can get back your sister, Link. I will, Link replied. Oh, I want to ask you three a favor. I want you to deliver this letter to Kamali. She hands over a letter to Link, and he keeps it in his new delivery bag Quill gave him a while ago. That letter is from his father. It holds something important for Kamali to read about. But after delivering the letter, could you please follow me to the exit behind me? I need another favor. The trio nodded, and they went to Kamali's room below the cave. The room was all decorated with many things and amulets. Dragon Roost, do amulets not count as things? Dragon Roost Island, Komali's room. Who's there? A voice came from the bed, and there was Komali, holding his orb in his arms. It's spelled fucking look with an E. He looks. Where is it? Fuck it, shit. Whatever. Take it on. No, I'll just find it. He looks. It's like a fucking medieval spelling. He looks at Chris and Link. Oh, it's you, the two who were with my father. However, his eyes widened when he saw Lucario. He hid below the blankets of his bed with his orb. Ah! Is that beast again? That's it! Fuck you, Lucario. That's it. That's it! Lucario walked towards Kamali with fists ready to kill the little Rito kid. That's fucking shit fucked up. Kamali screamed in terror. However, Chris took out a big heavy book, and he hit Lucario's head really, but really hard, because Lucario's head is of steel, from behind, making him fainting and falling unconscious in the floor, with his mouth opened and his eyes all white. I mean, shit, Lucario would be a terrible person to get into a relationship with. I mean, if you had an argument, holy fucking shit, that would not be a pretty sight. He'd be a fucking murderer. No way, you're going to kill an innocent child. Kid, sorry. Why did I read it as child? Chris's eyes were now like those freakish white eyes that those Naruto Chris's eyes were now like those freakish white eyes that those Naruto characters make when they are angry. Where in the hell did you get that big heavy... Did you got that big heavy book? Link asked, his eyes looking at the big heavy book. Earthbound. What? Earthbound? Are we back there? Holy shit, it's like fucking Cloud Atlas. It's traveling in between the worlds at will. This is fucking... This is... I gotta start... This is too much for me.